Alright, so this is the first semifinal game between H.F.B and Tiger Blood. We have Tiger Blood with the disc right now, that's Max. And Brad on the mark. Max seems to find Kurt there, right on the line. Kurt's looking. Throws it cross field there to Gordy in the end zone for the first score of the game. Alright, Gordman pulls the disc. Brad takes it in play. Swings it around to Chris Moore. Chris Moore with no mark. And Gordman finally steps in, starts a stall count. Fakes backhand. Goes around to Rhines, but can't quite get it in the hands. So this is Kurt with the disc now. Chris Moore on the mark. Kurt there, sees Max on the dump route. Throws it up, finds Mario. Mario dumps it off to Kurt. Kurt looks to the corner and finds Sue in the end zone. So that puts them ahead 2-0. So Tiger Blood here pulling the disc. Here comes Brad bringing it in play. Gordy on the mark. Finds Chris Moore there. Throws it up the field. Tries to get it to Mish, who's filling in for Shayna, but he's thrown a little bit behind her. Now here's Max bringing it in at the goal line. It's a toss, and Mish with a nice D. There you go, good defense there. Chris Moore taking the disc in bounds. Shovels it off to Brad. Brad finds Rhines. Rhines gives it off to Mish. Mish is faking. Gives it over to Brad. With a contested play there by Gordman. Rhines back over to Brad. Brad tries to force it up to Rhines, but Max is there to make the D, and Max, just a little bit too low for Gordman. So this is Chris Moore taking the disc in at the cone, taps it in. Kurt finally steps up to start the stall count. High release backhand there over to Chris Rhines, who gives a flick off to Brad. Brad flicks it back to Chris Moore, but that goes out of bounds. A little bit too wide. Now here comes Kurt with the disc. Oh, the hammer! Can't quite get it to Gordy. Kind of overran it a little bit there. Now here's Rhines bringing the disc in play. Rhines gets it off to Chris Moore, just barely got about a hand of Kurt. Now Rhines with the disc. And he gets it up to Chris Moore there. Chris Moore waiting for an option. Kurt cuts off the dump, and that leaves open the downfield pass. And Brad pulls the disc. Kurt with the catch. Gets a quick one off to Gordy for some quick yardage, but that goes sour right there. Now Brad taps it in. Gordy on the mark. Brad faking, finds Chris Moore. Chris Moore is looking. Gets it off to Dumpy. Yep. And Dumpy's looking. Puts that up high. And there's Brad with the catch. As long as he was in, looks like it. And here he is. Dumps it off to Chris Moore. Back in the middle of the court. Moore over to Rhines. Rhines over to Brad, but that slipped through his hand, and Gordy comes up with the pick, who goes with the quick pass deep. Connects with Max, who gives it off to Kurt in the end zone. Alright, so Kurt with the pull. Chris Moore bringing it in play, gives a quick one off to Chris Rhines, who's searching. Got a good mark there by Max, keeping him on the sideline, but he finally gets it off to Brad, up the line. Brad's looking for something, nothing short. Brad finds Rhines. Rhines gives it back to Moore. There's a dump there with Barnes, but thinks better of it, and then gives it off to Brad. Brad dumps it back almost to the midcourt to Chris Rhines. Rhines is looking, sees Barnes. Barnes with a nice forehand fake there. A backhand up to the corner. I think she was out of bounds. Yeah, and she was. So this is Tiger Blood's disc. I'm taking it in play. And that's Max there in all red. Pretty easy to spot him out. And I think that might have been a stall count, a stall violation. If not, it went out of bounds. Apparently no stall, just went out of bounds. It's Chris Moore with the disc, and he finds Mish. So Chris Rhines pulls the disc. Goes back behind the end zone. So Kurt walks it up to the goal line. Chris Moore here on the mark. Oh, tries to get a pass off the Gordman, but that also goes sour. So Rhines with the dump, and Brad with the strike to the corner. So I believe that knots things up at 3. Alright, so Kurt takes a disc in play off of that pull. And there's J. Mitch. He gets it off to Max. Doing some hard faking there, trying to get an open pass off. Finds Sue. Sue is looking. Sue got their first point of the game, and she's looking to contribute some more here. That's Kurt there with the disc. Kurt's looking. Sees J. Mitch. Looks back to Kurt. Got something there. Finds Sue with another point. There we go. And I believe that's the end of the first half. Alright, so the disc is in. So the score right now, Tiger Blood 4 and Here for Beer 3. And some big stakes on the line. The winner of this game goes to the gold medal game in the finals. The loser will be relegated to the bronze medal game. So, and here's Gordman. Pass up to J. Mitch. J. Mitch finds Max, who's right on the line. Chris Rhines on the mark. Gives it up to Gordy, who's also right on the line. And finds Kurt, but I don't think he was in bounds. No, he's ruled out. So Chris Moore with the disc now. Yeah, and there's Rhines in the middle of the field. Swings it off to Barnes. Barnes is searching. Dumps it back to Chris Rhines. Figure he had no options upfield. And there's Barnes up to Moore. Moore throws something up deep, but it's just out of reach of Barnes' hands. So here's J-Mitch bringing it in at the goal line. Oh, and that pass goes incomplete. Unfortunate. So here's Here for Beer with an opportunity close to their attacking end zone. But that goes incomplete as well. And here's Kurt with the... Oh, and there goes the opportunity for the quick pass. But he gets it back to J-Mitch, who makes a nice change of... Alright, Max pulls the disc. We had a few substitutions during that last point. J-Mitch came out of the game for Tiger Blood, and Mario is in his place now. And also Zach Barnes left the court for Here for Beer, and Dumpy is in his place, and there he is with the disc. So Dumpy now trying to open up his options. And looking downfield, so nothing there. Gets rid of it just before a stall. There's Chris Rhines with the disc. Gets it upfield, and no one's there. So now this is, I believe, Gordy bringing the disc in. That's Max there. So Max taps it in play. Max gets it upfield, but that's Dumpy right there. So that falls. That's a turnover there. Here's Rhines with the disc. Rhines gets it off to Brad. Brad pushes it up, but there's Kurt for the D. Good block there by Kurt, and Max with the disc gets something up quick, but Moore is there to cut it off. And Moore finds Rhines. He's looking. This point here will be pretty important because if H.F.B scores, it'll cut the lead back down to 1. But if Tiger Blood scores this point, then their lead is extended to 3 points, I believe. So that pass there just barely out of the reach of Michelle Phillips' hands there. So now Kurt bringing the disc in play. Mario with the disc. Back off to Kurt on the dump there. Kurt with the hammer upfield. He connects with Max, but I'm not sure that his feet were in, so that his feet are ruled out. And now this is Rhines with the disc. It was a nice effort there, but just a little bit too much on the throw. And here's Chris Moore. Chris Moore dumps it off to Brad. He's looking. Not too many options right now. Got a pass off there, but that was really close to being a stall, but it just barely got off in time apparently. And there's a floater up and out of bounds. That's too bad. A lot of turnovers in this possession here. There's Max off the Gordman, who flicks it up, but that is hand blocked there by Brad, out of bounds. So Brad takes the disc back in play. Brad pushes it up to Mish, who catches it just outside of the end zone. Mish is looking for someone and finds Chris Moore there. All right, so Chris Moore pulls the disc in play. It's a bullet there, but Kurt able to haul that one in. Swings it off to Max and pushes it up the line to Gordy. Gordy's trying to get it back up to him, but it wasn't quite there, so he dumps it back off, but Moore able to get in front of it with the D. And here he is, not too far from his own end zone. Things getting exciting here. So this will be another good opportunity for Oh, too bad there. I believe that was a stall count violation. So now, another good opportunity wasted there for H.F.B. And they now are attacking the other direction. Max gets it off to Kurt, who stays just in bounds there. And he's trying to open up his options. Stall count climbing. He tries to get it off to Mario with a nice catch there. And now Mario is trying to open up his options. Gets a blady pass off to Kurt. Short blady pass. Now Kurt with the flick over to Max. Max searching. Still searching. Finds Mario again, who's making some pretty good cuts here. Mario dumps it off to Kurt. Good possession play here, and then just barely through the hands of Mishin for the score. All right, this is Gordy with the who pulls the disc off. Brad catches it. Passes off to Chris Rhines. Rhines with the swing over to Dumpy there. And Brad. Now Rhines searching, trying to open things up. Oh, just out of reach of Brad's hands. He was going the other direction, and the disc was thrown behind him. And Gordy is able to capitalize there with a pass to the cone, and Kurt able to haul that in. All right, so Kurt pulling the disc. Throws up a hammer to the back of the end zone. And here's Brad bringing it in. Taps it in play. Finds Rhines real quick. Rhines searches deep. Oh, so close, but yet so far. So now Max taking the disc in play. His teammates trying to get open for him. Doesn't see anything yet. Finds Kurt there. Not sure if he was in, and he is out of bounds. So now H.F.B with another good opportunity. See if they can take advantage of this one here. And Rhines. Oh, very good catch there by Chris Moore. Jumps up and steals it away from Max. And he tries to get it off to Rhines, but that's just, the passes just aren't really connecting right now. So, now with a chance to further expand their lead. Kirk sends it up, but that's quickly picked off by Chris Moore. Gives it to Brad, but he was not looking. Not sure what happened there, but kind of lost focus there for a second and lost another opportunity. So here's J. Mitch. J. Mitch searching for something, gets a dump off to Max, but there's some sort of foul called. I'm not really sure what the foul call was, but oh, now that's a change of possession, and Zach Barnes gives it off to Chris Moore, I believe, for a score. A little bit of confusion there, not really what happened, but I believe that makes things 7-5, and I think that's the end of the game.